You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Phillies Postcast here on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzan. I missed you. A little bit of a weekend off here. Now I'm back in the saddle. Fortunately, it didn't throw the Phillies off because they just kept on winning. 6 in a row now. They complete the 4-game sweep of the San Francisco Giants. Zack Wheeler was out there today, just wheeling and dealing for Zack Wheeler. Picks up his 4th win of the season. You see Bryce Harper go yard for the 2nd time in as many days. And for the 2nd time in as many days, Bryce Harper goes out there and hits a 3-run home run for you. Help that Phillies offense out big time. Unfortunately, Alec Bohm's 18-game hitting streak came to an end today as it did not fare well from the plate for Alec Bohm. But we'll get into a little bit more than that. Bryson Stott flashed some leather there at shortstop. He's going to be getting a lot of reps at shortstop. Will the young Phillies, now shortstop, former second baseman. And the Phillies' bottom line is they have put 6 wins in a row together. And there are some great phrases in sports. I'm going to tell you a couple of them in a second. But first, I do want to tell you that you are watching Locked On Sports Philadelphia. And this episode is brought to you by Monopoly Go. Game off? Huh? We got to talk more about Monopoly Go, the fast-paced game that lets you team up with your friends for tournaments to unlock awesome prizes like unique stickers for trading, cool playing pieces, and hilarious emojis for taunting your friends. So download Monopoly Go now, free on the Google Play and App Store. Game on. Game 7. Great phrase in sports. Game-winning home run, game-winning goal. Things that just kind of opening day, you know, those kind of things just make you feel, oh, it's music to the ears to hear phrases like that. But this is a beautiful thing, and I absolutely love saying this because it's just so true and it's amazing, right? Best record in baseball. Mwah! Chef's kiss to it. Best record in baseball. And the Phillies had that yesterday. They got it again now. 25-11 on the season. We're going to start it off with 3 big things as we always do. And the big thing is the best record in baseball. It continues, especially with the Phillies putting up some historic numbers right now. This is according to the TV broadcast. If you didn't see this, this is insane. Here's where the Phillies are right now. They've won 17 of their last 20 games. The last time they won 17 games over a 20-game span was 2010 in September. And they did it the final month of the season from the 3rd to the 24th. Insane. Last time they had a 4-game sweep overall, September 21st to the 24th in 2023 versus the Mets. And the last time they were able to do it against the Giants was May 7th through the 8th in 2018. And then this is incredible. As of right now, the Phillies have a 3-game lead in the NL East. It's the first time the Phillies have had a 3-game lead in the NL East since May 31st, 2019. That is 1,802 days ago. So why is all this, aside from just acknowledging the facts, why is all this just incredible? Well, because when you have a pitcher like Zack Wheeler, and we'll get to him, when you have a lineup that's mashing like this lineup right now, a guy like Alec Bohm, who just unfortunately put a cap on the 18-game hitting streak, a guy like Trey Turner, who's unfortunately hurt right now, but was mashing to start this season by getting doubles, extra base hits, stolen bases. You have a guy like Alec Bohm, as I mentioned. You have Kyle Schwarber hitting the bombs and hitting the home runs like he's been hitting this season. You have Nick Castellanos up and down, got 2 hits today, 2 walks, drives in a run, gets a double. Okay, you have a guy like JT Realmuto, of course, in this lineup. What is so amazing is that all these historical things are happening, whether it's Ranger Suarez, Zack Wheeler, Aaron Nola, whoever it might be in the rotation, they have been dealing with a lineup that has been hitting the cover off the baseball. So it's great to have the best record in baseball, but when you could back it up with the way this team has been able to back it up, and I know the argument, who have you played? Who have you beaten? The only answer to that is the only one that matters, the team that's in front of you. That's who you played. That's who you beat. And even if that's the case, where the teams might not exactly be up to par with the level of baseball that we've seen this team play at, especially at the end of the season, what's really amazing to me is this team has finally found a way to kick it into high gear in the early going. I mean, we're talking about May of, 2018? 2019, the last time you had you have a lead in the NL East in May of 3 games. That doesn't happen. with the Philadelphia Phillies. They don't hit the overdrive button till June, as we all know. So to see him get out to this hot start, which was a big checkbox that I wanted to make sure they put a big fat check in it to start the year, they have absolutely done that. We have not seen him start out this hot. We've rarely even seen him be this hot at all. I mean, we're talking about go back to 2010, the last time they won 17 of 20 games. That's bonkers, man. So what you're seeing for the Phillies right now, not just the best record in baseball, but you're seeing a team play at the best they can possibly play. And we're not used to seeing them hit this stride until a month later in the season. So good for the Phils, good for Rob Thompson, good for these guys being ready to go at the start of this season. That's the number one thing. Number two, Zack Wheeler. How we've talked in his last two starts previous to today. Doesn't have his best stuff. Doesn't have his best. Needs 106 pitches. Needs 103 pitches to get through 5 innings, 6 innings. And then today he gets through 7 innings out there today on the mound with 11 strikeouts, 102 pitches, and those 11 punch-outs, each one more majestic than the other. I will say, wide strike zone for both pitchers. And there was one particular instance that was really highlighted to me in the 6th inning, I think it was, where Zack Wheeler just loved every ounce of the wide strike zone that he was getting on the mound today. Actually, it was the 5th inning, excuse me. That's where he took care of Yastrzemski and Fitzgerald with strikeouts, and then he got reached to fly out to center field. Yastrzemski was looking at a fastball away. Bad call, but Wheeler knew at this point in the game, and you could tell he was also trying to do it a little bit more in the 4th inning. But in that 5th inning, he gets Yastrzemski to strike out on a fastball away outside the zone, but he called it a strike. And then Fitzgerald struck out on a fastball that was also away. Better pitch, but it was still outside the box, and it looked like it was not exactly nipping the outside corner. So Wheeler, the veteran, knew what he was getting there today, and he made sure to exploit it and use it to his advantage as the game went on. And that's how you rack up 11 strikeouts, the way Zack Wheeler was able to rack up those strikeouts today. That was great to see him do that. And all in all, when it was all said and done, he gets you into the 7th inning. He helps out your bullpen. You have a guy like Matt Strahm come in and he handles his business. And then you have a Ryan Kerkering come in to close the door in the top of the 9th inning to make sure nothing was doing there for the San Francisco Giants. But all in all, another great effort, and this time a much better result, not just the win, but the result overall of him being able to give you 7 innings today. Zack Wheeler, an absolute star of this game. He's number 2 on this list. Number 3, Bryce Harper. I mean, yesterday's a nationally televised game, ESPN. I was out of market. I was able to watch the game, and it was just a blast to watch that blast by Bryce Harper. We've made a lot of the fact that it was another down in the zone change up that he waited on. He had seen 3 or 4 in a row, and that time he just went down and got it and busted out the old 7-iron and blasted that baseball to deep center field for a 3-run home run. Then this time around today, again, in as many days, Bryce Harper steps up to the plate in this game today to help out the Phillies once again. And after the Phillies were up already 1-0, Bryce Harper stepped up to the plate there in the 5th inning. He got the pitch that he wanted, a sinker out over the middle of the plate, right through the vicious, violent swing that Bryce Harper can whip that barrel of the bat through the zone, and he just tattoos that baseball to center field, 381 feet for another 3-run home run, courtesy of Bryce Harper, his 8th of the season. And what was really great about that is overall, away from Bryce Harper, although he was the guy that cashed in the chips there for the Phils, Kyle Schwarber comes out, he gets a leadoff single. It feels like he's getting more singles than ever, which is great. Last year, we were supposed to see Kyle Schwarber's batting average raise a wee bit, thanks to the shift no longer being what it used to be. And then JT Realmuto, your new 2-hole hitter, he goes up there and he gets a single. So you got back-to-back singles to start things off. And with the hit from Realmuto, what was so great about that is that Kyle Schwarber was busting it out of first base. Round second, he's able to get the third on the play. So you got runners at first and first and third with nobody out. Bryce Harper, does he make us sweat? Does he make us think, oh boy, are they really going to have first and third with nobody out, not bring anybody in? Bryce Harper says, chill. I got you. And he belts that sinker high out of the ballpark. Next thing you know, you got a 4-0 lead. Bryce Harper, when he starts swinging that bat and gets hot, I mean, we could talk about it with anybody in this lineup, but Bryce Harper in particular, nationally televised game, he's going to show up. Comes back from the birth of his 3rd child, you betcha he's going to go yard. And maybe he's got a little something going for himself right now, especially over the last couple of games where now you see his average go from about 230 to 243. Every little bit helps. 3-run home runs aren't obviously a little bit, but they're hits, and they'll help him raise that average as well. You still see the on-base percentage off the charts. It's great for Bryce Harper. But all in all, you see this kind of production from him. Bohm got the hit in his last at-bat last night. He's able to go out there today, unfortunately, or he goes out there today, unfortunately, takes the collar on the 0-for-4 performance. Just under a couple of pitches. You could tell he was being very aggressive while he was up there at the plate. Just unfortunately not a lot of good contact for Alec Bohm today. But if he's going to start to cool off, it's all the better that a guy like Bryce Harper really starts to pick it up. It's all the better. Honorable mention, Nick Castellanos today. There was something that Nick Castellanos did that I really found fascinating. And it was his bat in the third inning. He laid off 4 consecutive pitches that were low and away. And we all know those are pitches that he at the very least offers at. And he didn't do it. And he was down the count 0-2, fought back in the at-bat, took 4 straight pitches that were out of the strike zone, laid off at least 3 of them that were down and away. Those are pitches that you usually just see him throw the barrel of the bat at with no avail. And this time, he laid off it. He worked the walk, one of the 2 walks that he had today. He did have an extra base hit. We've talked about Nick Castellanos quite a bit in terms of just giving those good at-bats and giving you some production. He was able to do that for the Phillies. And you talk about a guy like Zack Wheeler, you want to make sure that he's got some run support. Well, no better example than what you saw in that 4th inning. Yeah, Bohm start things off by flying out to center field. Marsh goes out there, flies out to center field. At this point, 2 outs. 2 outs in the inning for Mason Black, local product, pitching for the Giants today. He threw 3 pitches, recorded 2 outs to start that 4th inning. Nick Castellanos goes up there to try to start something for the Phillies. I said it was 0-2. It was a 1-0 count, or excuse me, 0-1 count. Next 4 pitches outside the strike zone. He doesn't offer at him. He lays off those pitches, which was, especially a day like today, very hard to do when those kinds of pitches were being called strikes for the vast majority of the afternoon. But he lays off those pitches. He works a walk. Next thing you know, Bryson Stott steps to the plate. He works the walk. Now you got 2 runners on. You got 2 outs. Whit Merrifield wants to make something happen for you. So he belts a single to left field. That brings in Nick Castellanos. I was scared as all heck that Nick Castellanos was not going to be fast. Well, let's put it this way. Nick Castellanos is not fast. So because he's not fast, I thought that was still going to remain a 0-0 ball game if they were going to end up sending him around third. They did. No problem. Nick Castellanos crosses the plate. Phillies go up 1-0 in that instance. And then, unfortunately, Johan Rojas ended any other scoring in that inning with taking a pitch that maybe you shouldn't have taken. Strike 3 called. See you later. But that was just a honorable mention for Nick Castellanos to help keep that inning going. 3 pitches, and then he works a 5-pitch at bat. Bryson Stott comes up there with an 8-pitch at bat. Whit Merrifield cashes in rather early in the at bat. Started out 1-0, and then he was able to get a sinker out over the middle of the plate that he deposited in left field for an RBI single. Whit Merrifield is a guy that we're going to talk about in a second because there's 2 things that are happening with this Phillies team that I find very interesting. When it comes to what they have to do without Trey Turner in the lineup, there's a couple of things that you're seeing right now that the Phillies are going to have to ride for the next, I'm going to call it 4 to 6 weeks while Trey Turner's on the mend. We'll talk about it when we come back. Some big things happening for the Phils. Outside our leadoff, 3 big things. Some big things happening for the Phils with Trey Turner out of the lineup. We'll get to that in a second. Right now, you're Locked On Sports Philadelphia on Locked On Phillies postcast. You guys have heard us talking about LinkedIn. If you're struggling to close deals in the sales world, well, B2B selling is tougher than ever, and that's why I want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a sales intelligence platform that helps professionals efficiently prospect and accurately prospect and engage high-value customers, drive higher revenue, and increase sales performance. All that sound good? I think it sounds great. Sales Navigator helps you target the right buyers, as well as surface key signals such as job changes or which accounts you should prioritize, and it shows you hidden allies so you can find those buyers that you are most likely to convert for sales. Fueled by LinkedIn's 1 billion member platform, Sales Navigator gives you the most up-to-date, first-party data enabling you to unlock conversations with the people that matter most. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/locked on. That's linkedin.com/locked on for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/locked on to get started. Oh, got to tell you more about Monopoly Go. You heard me talking about it in the open of the show. Monopoly Go, I do admit, I have a bit of a competitive edge. I'm a big fan of Monopoly, an even bigger fan of Monopoly Go, the mobile hit twist on the classic Monopoly game. So join your friends and download Monopoly Go now free on the App Store and Google Play Store. In Monopoly Go, you can team up with your friends for timed tournaments where you can work together to build each other's boards. The more you win together, the more awesome prizes you unlock. And there's so much to get to, like what the unique stickers that you can trade with friends to complete albums for big prizes, cool new playing pieces to travel the boards with, hilarious emojis. It's like fantasy sports. You want to taunt with your friends? You can do that with these hilarious emojis through Monopoly Go when you smash their buildings and heist their vaults. What? Yes, heist your friends' vaults. Plus, go Monopoly Go. Oh, have yourself a good time. Feels new and exciting every day with constantly changing tournaments and challenges. A ton include, oh my goodness, when you talk about their unique mini games like digging for treasure, have yourself a great time with Monopoly Go. And there's always something new, like a new timed event that helps you win big, like massive multipliers for everything you win or rent with Rent Frenzies. How about that? There's also fantastic things you could discover on Monopoly Go. So get off the bench, get in the game. Go download it now for free on the Google Play Store and App Store. Google Play. Game on with Monopoly Go. Oh, let's go to the chat here. Star Wars 99. What's up, Star Wars 99? Happy past May the 4th be with you and all that stuff. Nice Phillies sweep. Heck yeah. 4-game sweep. Seeing those pitchers go out there, look, we could talk like Taijuan Walker, for instance, got beat on that last pitch. It is what it is. But I'll say this, for a guy that is replacing a guy that was doing pretty well in Spencer Turnbull, Taijuan Walker, I'm still surprised. Not at his performance overall, because he's been pitching well. I'm not surprised that he's pitched well. I'm more surprised that Rob Thompson is for his first 2 starts, he lets him go into the 7th inning. Topper, didn't you learn your lesson last time? What happened to let me get this guy out of here. Let me get this guy out of here while he's feeling good about himself. No, let me leave him in there until he's feeling terrible about himself. It doesn't make any sense. It goes against it goes wholeheartedly against the Rob Thompson mentality. Tinker Topper, I understand. I often criticize, but with this, in this particular instance, you want to give the guy some time, man. Let him feel good. He's just coming off the IL. What are you doing? But that's the way he chooses to manage for whatever reason, and that's the way he went about it in that game. But I was mentioning a couple of things that the Phillies have to do with Trey Turner on the mend. Number 1, Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott at shortstop. And I have thought that Bryson Stott is the best shortstop on this team. But, of course, those honors of playing the position are going to go to Trey Turner. He signed a $300 million deal. You're kind of going to get to play where you want to play. And you're going to play where they signed you to play, which is shortstop. So that's where Trey Turner's at. But with him on the mend, Bryson Stott getting to return to his natural position of shortstop, I am really excited to see how he continues to handle this, because you're going to see some other guys get some run at different positions, but Bryson Stott might be your regular shortstop for the foreseeable future for the Phils while you're waiting for Trey Turner to come back. So you're watching this game. You see Bryson Stott's getting the start at shortstop. What happens? Lee goes up to the plate to lead things off there. He gets a single right out of the gate. 1 pitch, 1 hit. All right, Zack Wheeler. All right, let's get dialed in, all right? And then what happens? Estrada goes up there and he strikes out looking at a sinker low in the zone. Great pitch, really, from Zack Wheeler. Then Wade steps up to the plate with a runner on first. He hits a single to center field, so now you got 2 runners on. Flores then hits one up the middle. Bryson Stott smothers the baseball, diving to his left. He barely is able to get the ball out of his mitt in that first inning. You got runners on. This goes up the middle. Some bad things can happen for your fighting Phils. So he goes up the middle, dives to his left, smothers it, barely gets the ball out of his mitt. He didn't throw it to Whit Merrifield at second. The best way to describe it, do I have a baseball down here? I thought I had a baseball. He shot-putted the baseball to Whit Merrifield, who, to his credit, dude, a guy who hasn't played a lot, fields it perfectly, guts it out of his mitt perfectly, and fires to Bryce Harper at first to complete the 6-4-3 double play. Couple of hits allowed in the inning. No harm done, thanks to Bryce's start playing a great shortstop position. Now, of course, later in the game, pulled Bryce Harper off the bag at first. Tough play, but you got to make the throw. And then you see him make that great play where he's drifting over in the 7th inning towards the left field line, makes the catch over the shoulder for a spectacular put out there for Bryson Stott. Keep that coming, Bryson Stott. That's number one. It's the most obvious. Number two, while Bryson Stott is taking the place of Trey Turner in the field, JT Realmuto is taking the place of Trey Turner as the 2-hole hitter for this baseball team. You want to see JT, and last night comes up with a couple of big hits. Today came up with a nice big hit there for the Phillies. And you want to see that continue to happen. I mentioned that earlier in the ball game, he helped set the table for the Phils by getting some runs across the board and also being a threat on the base paths as well. You talked about the Kyle Schwarber single, followed by the JT Realmuto single in the 5th inning. That's helped set the table for Bryce Harper to hit that 3-run home run. And you just see a guy like JT Realmuto take some good at-bats while he's up there in the 2-hole. And that's exactly what you want to see from him, filling that void for the Phillies. After that, number 3, and I think all these, when you really think about it, are all things that the Phillies are going to need to be productive and go their way. This is 3 people trying to replace the production of Trey Turner. So it's Bryson Stott in the field, it's JT Realmuto at the plate, and in the field as well, when you talk about a guy shifting into the second base position, more so it's Whit Merrifield. Because you got Stott shifting over there, you got Realmuto moving up in the order to number 2, and now playing second base for your Philadelphia Phillies will be the combination of Edmundo Sosa and Whit Merrifield. And as much as we love Edmundo Sosa, there's a reason why the guy's not a starter. Whit Merrifield has been a starter in this league. Whit Merrifield has led the league in hits. Whit Merrifield has been an all-star. This is the guy that I'm really hoping, the guy I'm hoping we see over the next 4 to 6 weeks get a lot of opportunities to play at second base. And a guy that's going to get a lot of opportunities to play no matter what, whether that's left field or second base, or whether that's third or short or first, whatever the case might be. Mostly second base. With this guy playing, I want the guy that addressed us in spring training, and I've mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again. I want the guy that comes out here and gives you those at-bats where he said he was going to earn more spots. He was going to earn more chances with the almost near guarantee of you'll play 2, you'll play 3 games a week, something like that. He said, well, it's my job, Rob Thompson, to convince you. It's my job, Dave Dombrowski, to convince you that I am far more worthy of more at-bats in this lineup for you. And when I'm given those opportunities to swing a bat, I'm given those opportunities to put the glove on and go out there in the field, I'm going to show you that I am much more worthy of many more opportunities because I'm going to cash in on the opportunities that I do get in unlimited capacity to start the season. And so far to this point, he has done that. Great example is what he was able to do there in the 4th inning, also making sure the Phillies weren't wasting an opportunity to get somewhat of a little 2-out lightning going for themselves the way they were able to do so in that 4th inning. And overall, you look at Whit Merrifield's numbers so far on the season. Do they jump out to you? No, but this is a guy that has been a part-time player for the most part to this point in the season. You're talking about a 250 hitter with a 304 batting average. 304 on base percentage. A guy that's hit you a couple of home runs, but is going to continue to prove to you that he can continue to help you win ball games. And those are the 3 people that really jump out to me. They're going to have to really try to produce as much as Trey Turner, all combined. Hope the guys are up for the challenge. As of right now, this entire team, when it comes to the challenge of what's been in front of them so far this year, they've risen to the occasion. 25-11. I'll say it again because it's just such a beautiful thing. Best record in baseball. Before I hit the break, I got a couple more comments on here. Phillies are on fire, says Star Wars. There we go. Go Sixers. I'm locked on after that Phillies sweep. There you go. Go Sixers. Good to have you back. Go Sixers. Good to be back. Look, you don't have to change your name. I'm not recommending you do. But the fact that you haven't, go Sixers, I admire you. I admire you more than I ever have. I know you've kept that name for a long time. It's good to have it. Star Wars 99, 9 home run of the season for Schwarber. Schwarber, I think, got his 9th, right? And then it was Harper had his 8th. I think that makes sense. I want to make sure I have that right. I think I have it up there. Yeah, Harper with his 8th, Schwarbs with his 9th. Harper is 8th home run of the season. Schwarber is 9th home run of the season. Not a bad time for Kyle Schwarber. I had it right. 102 pitches for Zack Wheeler today over those 7 innings. And not too bad. All right, when we come back, we're going to look ahead and see how long this Phillies team can keep it going. They go for 7 wins in a row. We'll break down that game and that matchup coming up here with their series in a few. When we return, you're watching Locked On Philadelphia Phillies postcast. Oh, how about this, guys? You got to check this out. If you haven't been watching this, this is where it's at. Now, we all know how much personal finance is important, and if you don't, well, you should. But even if you do know how important it is, have you mastered it yet? I needed to discover Yahoo Finance, and thank goodness I did. I have to tell you about it. In my investments, retirement accounts, have them all in one place. I didn't think it was possible. I found Yahoo Finance, and sure enough, not only is it possible, it's easy. Yahoo Finance comes in to save the day. It's a place you can consolidate your views for your multiple accounts into one hub and access the expert analysis you need to tend to your entire portfolio with confidence. Even if you're just discovering it, you probably don't have that confidence. You have something like Yahoo Finance, you're going to have that confidence. Now, if you know me, you know I've worked for a few big corporations. To have something like Yahoo Finance to consolidate and put it all in one place for me, it really makes it easy for me to understand. And like I said, you get that help with that great advice, with that great expert analysis to help you break it all down. So if you want to make more or make it easier to tracking your finances, if you want to make it the easiest it could possibly be, if you want to grow your portfolio, Yahoo Finance is for you. Just like it was for me, it could be for you. For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor. And whether you're a seasoned investor or you're just looking for a little extra guidance, like I was, Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools and the data that you need in one place. They're the #1 finance destination, producing a holistic look at the financial news cycle, including breaking news, original editorial perspectives, analysis ratings, as well as independent research, customizable charts, and so much more. For comprehensive financial news and analysis, visit their brand behind every great investor. That's what they are, the brand behind every great investor. Finance, let's go to yahoofinance.com. Yahoofinance.com, the #1 financial destination, yahoofinance.com. That's yahoofinance.com. Looking ahead to your Philadelphia Phillies and what they're looking to do next. After winning their 6th straight, after winning all 4 games, busting out the brooms yet again, the Philadelphia Phillies right back at it tomorrow night as they open up a series with the Toronto Blue Jays, who come to town 3 games under 500. Things not necessarily going the way of the Blue Jay as of yet. It'll be a brief 2-game series in South Philadelphia, Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, they get things started at 6:40. Wednesday, they get underway at 1:05. So that'll be a bit of a getaway day before they have the day off on Thursday. And that's when they'll travel down to Miami to take on the Marlins for a 3-game series. And then they got a split 4-game series, 2 in New York and 2 in South Philly against the New York Mets before opening up a 3-game series with the Washington Nationals. And then the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, that Texas Rangers baseball club will come into town. But as for this game, 6:40 tomorrow night, you're going to have Christopher Sanchez getting the ball for the Phillies tomorrow night at 6:40. He comes into the game 1-3 on the season with a 3.68 ERA. Last 2 starts for him have not been great. One was against the Cincinnati Reds. He lasted just 3 innings. He gave up 5 runs. Only 1 was earned. And then after that, he started against the Angels out there in California. He went 5 innings, allowing 4 runs, all of them earned, including a home run, and 2 walks were issued. So we just watched Zack Wheeler put forth his best effort in his last couple of starts. So good to see him go out there and do that. Not that his other starts were terrible by any means. He just struggled through them. Hopefully see Christopher Sanchez get back to the form that you saw him with the first 3 starts he had during the young season. As for your Philadelphia Phillies opponent, the Toronto Blue Jays. They're going to go against Jose Barrios, of course. 29-year-old right-handed pitcher out of Puerto Rico, 4-2 on the season. He has been fantastic so far this year with a 1.44 ERA, and he is coming off a dominant outing against the Kansas City Royals where he went 7 innings, allowing 2 runs on 5 hits, and did surrender 1 home run in the process. He'll be looking to stack a couple more wins for himself, get his 5th of the season. Hopefully Christopher Sanchez will get his work cut out for him. Here's what I need to see in the not-too-distant future for your Philadelphia Phillies. I've mentioned the strides that are going to have to be taken with Trey Turner out of the lineup. So far, a couple of games under their belt without Trey Turner. They've managed to be just fine. Now, you're going to have to see Nick Castellanos really start breaking out the bats. If you don't have Real Muto getting hot, if Bryson Stott doesn't continue to figure it out at the plate like you've seen as of late for him, I think you're going to start to hit the stride now with Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper if it hasn't already started. But a guy like Nick Castellanos is going to continue to have to put things together. And I know he had 2 hits. The biggest thing for me with Castellanos is him working walks. Everything else I feel will fall in suit and fall in place for Nick Castellanos. Before I get going, oh, there we go. Star Wars 99. We're leading MLB in home runs and the record. There we go. I guess the force is with the Phils. I'm sorry. I'll show myself out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Make sure you guys smash the subscribe button. I'll be on with you guys again tomorrow night, 6:40 start time between the Phillies and the Toronto Blue Jays. Getting things underway once again, 6:40 tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. You've been Locked On Phillies postcast here on Locked On Sports Philadelphia.